As if holding hands in games wasn't bad enough. Like, there are plenty of games that hold the player's hand, but this is going a little far. Assassin's Creed Shadows will have a canon mode that will make all the correct RPG decisions for you. This is what people refer to as journalist mode. Because these gaming journalists always say how hard the game is. It's just because they're bad. So basically, you have easy mode, and below that, you have journalist mode. This is basically journalist mode, or what people would say Kotaku mode, or IGN mode, or something. But great news for gamers who just can't make up their minds. Is it that? It's a little embarrassing to admit, but I am sometimes paralyzed by choices in RPGs. In fact, I am currently in the midst of a very big situation in Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. If you played it, you'll know what I mean. And if you haven't, I'm not gonna spoil it. And it is absolutely killing me. You're tearing me apart, Cyberpunk! Which isn't to say that I don't appreciate the freedom to choose my own destiny, but sometimes it's nice to just lie back and let the currents take you where they may. People who share that feeling as they're forced to choose this guy over that guy may appreciate a clever new edition Ubisoft has cooked up for Assassin's Creed Shadows called Canon Mode, that literally takes the choices out of your hands, because as if a game couldn't be easy enough, let's just make it to where you don't have to think at all. Choices come more into play when recruiting allies and romance some of the characters. Since the fan base is divided on branching dialogues, we have incorporated an option called Canon Mode, which allows you to play the game with choices already made for you, to give you a choice-free experience. Hope this makes it fun for... Right, because there's nothing more fun than not having any options and just letting the game choose for you, and just picking the right solution for everything. Is there going to be an autopilot mode where, you turn it on, you just can set the controller down, and you don't have to worry about fighting anything? Everything will just be executed perfectly? That's the other drawback of choice-based gameplay. The choices you make may not stand the test of time when the inevitable sequel comes out. That can be genuinely irritating. I'm still a little chapped at that Metro Last Light opens a year after I launched a missile strike against the Dark Ones, even though I made a very specific point of not launching a missile strike at the Dark Ones in Metro 2033. The Metro games aren't RPGs, fair enough, and so player choices carrying smoothly from one game to the next are perhaps a little less vital than they are in, say, Dragon Age. You could at one point say that about the same about Assassin's Creed, but as we noted back in 2017, this series has evolved from primarily a stealth action to action joint to a genuine action RPG. Not everyone who embraces canon mode will do so because they're terrified of making the wrong choice. Some people just won't care about silly sideline nonsense like romance. Whatever drives you, though, I think it's a smart idea. A single linear narrative of people who want to ensure they follow the correct story path. A non-stop in-your-face action for those who just want to get on with the stabbing and slashing. Tumon has also talked a bit about how the developers have approached storytelling in Assassin's Creed Shadows' non-linear campaign, which will involve some of the choices players may or may not opt to make. Most of the game main targets, quest lines, can be tackled through exploration and are not in a predetermined order, although the game flow does suggest an optimal path through exploration and progression, he wrote. However, each target has a coherent story with a bottleneck section that can introduce more linear and cinematic narrative sections. The particularity is that we leave open many sections to be played with Naue and Yasuke, which can impact the way some of the quest lines evolve. He also touched on the last minute Assassin's Creed Shadows delay, which pushed February. Been a great to be able to tweak the game, push overall quality. Overall quality. We've been able to make changes and tweaks on parkour, for example, or touch up parry mechanics, or work on cinematic transitions. For example, we felt like there was a stickiness in the parkour. The delay allowed us to accelerate the responsiveness of inputs and fix rooftop behaviors that were impeding of Naue's fluidity. The team is making something we are all proud of with this extra time. Yeah, so it's holding your hand. Somebody's already dead. Ah, okay. I thought hand holding was say now though. Calling it that is calling it Canon Mode sounds way more manly. Yeah, really. So, what's the point of offering any choices at all? Is there a mode that returns the game for you? So, our own decisions are literally fanfic out of the gate. That's stupid. So, can't say I'm really too surprised. You know, it for some reason, a freaking decision in a video game causes people to have full-blown meltdowns. Like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? And then suddenly they're having a mental breakdown and crying because they don't know what to choose. John, people don't. You say that. You say that. That it doesn't happen. But yet, I guarantee you, there is a person having a mental breakdown, having to step away from the console or the computer because they can't make the right decision right now, and they're like, "Oh God, I need some time to think. How will this affect the game? Is the player is that like the character gonna hate me? Is it gonna impede my ability to get certain skills? It's just there's just so much to take in." Of course, that's all just a scenario I thought up in my head. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure no one actually does that. But the fact that we've got a hand-holding mode now, pretty sad. You know that like if you're gonna have the have the setting to just pick all the right choices for you, just don't give the freedom of choice. Because it's like they said, it's like, well, the choice doesn't really matter in the end, right? So why not just make a linear game where people just have dialogue, where you don't have to worry about sitting there pressing and thinking about, oh, what do I choose? What do I choose? Then just make it a linear game like most games. Games that don't really have options of dialogue. You get to a spot, they have dialogue, you move to the next spot, you fight some crap. Some person comes out clapping like, oh, well, you did really good there. I wasn't expecting anyone to beat all my men so quickly, but now you face me. And then there's a boss fight, and then everyone comes out like, oh my God, he's been troubling the village for years now, and someone finally took him, and then you go on to the next day. Just, if it's that big of a deal, just remove the choice completely. Just remove it and just have a linear game. Just have a linear game. But In this context, it sounds like it would be a mode that instead of presenting you with dialogue choices, will automatically choose a narrative. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Almost like you've never watched a movie or read a book. Correct doesn't mean best. I am justice. It's automated decision making for $5 a decision. 10 decisions for $30 is a new loot box. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, basically hand-holding mode for all you inspiring Kotaku, IGN journalists out there. They've got a mode just for you. Can't decide what to choose? Well, now you don't have to. The game will choose it for you. Coming soon, autopilot mode. You don't even have to play the game. The game will play itself. You can't get past that specific boss. Oh, don't need to worry. Autopilot will find out the perfect path for you to take that will ensure your victory. You just simply have to sit back and reap the rewards. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.